guys, welcome back. I'm Ailey if you're new, and today's video is gonna be my thoughts on this. So, I actually don't know if I've got videos of the other Urban Decay Naked palettes on my channel, but I have the Naked 2 and the Naked 3. I don't even know how many Naked palettes there are at this point, but I missed out on the first one anyway, and I know that recently what they've done is they've discontinued it. And I think as a kind of response to discontinuing it, they've released this one. So yeah, I thought, well, if it's gonna be sort of vibey from the first one, which I never got, and then when I seen like swatches of it, I thought, do you know what, we're gonna give the Naked palette another go. Taken out of the box, this is the palette itself. It's sort of like got petals on it, I think. It's orchids. Yeah, now that I'm looking at it. So it's kind of like a spongy material. It's almost like a little bit like thick silk or something like that, and it's cushioned on the top. And if I open it up, this is the palette here. You've got a nice big mirror up here, the pattern is on the top, and then this is the palette inside. You've probably seen it before. I think it was only released a few days ago or something like that. So this palette has one distinct difference to the other Naked palettes, and that is there's no brush. And that's quite funny because these are actually brushes that I don't mind, so I don't know why they decided to do that, and I can't remember if it was cheaper. I'll put on the screen how much this cost, but I can't remember if it was cheaper as a result, but maybe that's why. So these are the shades here. I'll put in swatches for you, but I know, well, I didn't notice, but I seen online that the shades at the end are actually bigger than the other shades, so this one and this one are bigger. Then if we move in as well, the two second from the end are slightly bigger as well. I didn't notice that until I'm actually looking at it now. I've just dirtied it all up. It looks like there's a lot more mattes. That was my biggest gripe with the other Naked palettes, is it was all shimmer and there was like 3 mattes. So I normally like 3 mattes, and the shimmers, there was way too much going on for me. I feel like I could maybe pick this up and take it away with me, and I would have everything I needed to do kind of normal day-to-day looks. I guess we should just give it a try. Oh, why am I yawning? So I'm gonna take the shade Blur. I'll do the swatches at the end of this video as well, and I'm just gonna really lightly set. I'm gonna take the shade Boundaries, which is this one here, and I'm just gonna put this really high up in my crease. Maybe I should zoom you in. That's better. I think I might do a halo eye today. A lot of people are saying that this compares to one of the Anastasia Beverly Hills palettes, the Sultry palette, I think. I can't speak on that because I don't have it, but there are a few sort of comparison videos out there. So if you have the Sultry palette, you may not need this one. So I'm gonna take a slightly smaller brush and dip into Bucked, which is this one right here. Deepen it up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take the shade Endgame over here, and I'm going to pick that up in the same brush. This is sort of like the darkest colour in the palette, or the darkest matte shade in the palette anyway. So I'm going to just place that. And you can see it shows up really well straight away. So far I'm not mad at this palette, I really amn't. And it blends out really nicely, so yeah, I like it. So I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more just to let you see how easy that was. I wasn't expecting to really like this palette. It doesn't blend too far either. You know, sometimes you think you put down, and once, like, you press it down, and once you get like enough pigment to be going on with, it just then starts to just spread and spread and spread and spread. Like, you don't want it to like stick really badly where you first apply it, but you do want it to sort of stay where you put it, even though you're blending out the edges a little bit. You don't want it to then just go whoo, all the way up to your eyebrow, because you know, you want them to sort of blend into one another. You don't want the like the darker shade to overpower the first shade, and they're doing that really nicely. And then you can go back in and blend the edges out with like the crease shade, and they just seem to blend into one another really nicely, so I'm liking that. Okay, so for the center of my eyelid, I'm going to use these two shades here, which are Barely Baked and Angel Fire, and I'm going to put Angel Fire right in the middle and then blend out the edges with Barely Baked. I'm going to grab my Revolution Cut Crease Canvas. I really like this stuff, but, and I mean, it was a great idea. Maybe I got one that's just not quite right, but I don't like the brush, because if you look at it, it's totally caked in product, and even if you like wipe it off, you'd have to take like a cotton pad or something and wipe it off, because when you go in with it, it just goes all over your eyelashes and it just doesn't look cool. So I just take it on the back of my hand, like so, and use like a little concealer brush, like that, and apply it that way. I always take way too much. A little of this stuff goes a long way. And then you just kind of do whatever you want to do in the middle. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a little brush and I'm gonna take Angel Fire. Okay, it's not the best with the brush. I'm gonna try a different brush. That isn't the best brush, to be honest. So I'm gonna grab it again. This one's a little chunky for my liking. Okay, let's try finger. Okay, with the finger it's better, but I can't get really close with frickin' fat finger. And this, I actually think, I'm going to try it on the other eye, is one of these shadows that sort of need to be like, you can't pat it on, you've got to sort of pat it and pull. It's like foiled, so you have to it's almost like, you know, the nails that you get, the foiled nails or the metallic nails where you have to rub it onto the nail. I think it's that, because if you like press them on, they don't work. I think it's the same sort of idea. So I'm going to use the other side of that same little brush and pick up Barely Baked. And just put that. Okay, so I'm going to do my lower lash line now. I'm going to take this Barry M Bold Waterproof Liner in brown. I'll do this thing that everybody hates. Right. Oh yeah, I like the way that looks. Okay. I'm gonna... What am I gonna do? I'm gonna add lashes. I need a new style of lashes to try. Even like a new brand of lashes to try. Because every single time I see anybody do their makeup, or like any bigger influencer do their makeup on YouTube, it's like House of Lashes, Lily Lashes, Miami's and Iconics and things like that. And they're not cheap. So, I mean, I understand. They get them for free, so fair enough. But spending like, I'm pretty sure that's the ones anyway, but the ones I was looking at were like 30 quid for a pair of lashes. I mean, mine end up stuck to stuff. I'm not paying 30 quid for a set of lashes, but yeah, some decent, or even like Cocoa lashes. What styles do you guys like? Do you have any recommendations for me? Because I really do need some new lashes. Okay, so I have thrown on some lashes, thrown on some lipstick, and we're gonna do a little bit of like inner corner brow bone highlight. Brow bone highlight. And I think for my brow bone, I'm going to use Bribe, which is just the first shade in the palette, the big one. Cool. Okay, so this is the final look. I actually really like how it turned out. It is sort of more on the neutral side. Yeah, I am not mad at it. I really like this palette. So before I say anything else, we're going to move into some swatches. Okay, so that is all the swatches there. And a back. Oh, it's actually really zoomed in. And I just get eyeshadow all over my lens. Okay, so that's all the swatches. As far as this palette is concerned, I really like it. I like the palette itself. I think that it's going to be, oh god, I've got it manky already. I think that it's going to be really good if I ever go anywhere this year. I think that it could be a really good one to take along because of the choice of colours it's got. I think that it's nice and compact, and I actually think it is smaller than the old Naked palettes. I think this one's a little bit, I don't know, it just sort of doesn't, I wish there was another shade that went with it, if you know what I mean, like a lighter shade that was the same tone or something like that, but I can't fault it. I actually really like it. I mean, whether or not, if you have the sultry palette, whether or not you'll need it, I don't know. I don't think it's crazy similar to the first original Naked palette. I think it's just more so that it's got the same sort of vibes, and they're hoping that, I don't know, maybe they've been trying to replicate the success since that palette, because I know that that was like a massive sort of cult palette. So yeah, would I recommend it? Definitely. The shadows are great, they blend really well, they're really pigmented. We'll see how long they last. I'll leave a note in the description box, or like while I'm editing it, I'll put it on the screen or something like that, to if it creased or anything like that while I was wearing it. But no, I'm impressed. So if you haven't got it and you want it, I definitely say it's worth giving it a wee try, and especially if you're in America and you can just return it if you don't like it. I mean, come on, we can't even do that over here in the UK. It's like, no, once your grubby little paws have been on it, then you can keep it. So if you enjoyed this video or you found it helpful, I would obviously love if you would give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, so hopefully I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!